week 4 of the one room challenge, and we've got a few updates to share with you guys. We got these beautiful solid wood carved doors from Metri for a bedroom for the one room challenge.
They came as slabs from the factory, which meant that we had to use our carpentry skills to hang and install them.
AKA watch YouTube tutorials.
Pretty much.
So after shopping for a few tools and watching enough videos to build up our confidence, we started by removing the old doors. To make sure everything lined up, we laid the old door on top of the new one and marked the location of the hinges and the new door handle. Then we traced the outline of the hinge onto the new door.
Then we used a sharp chisel to notch out the wood, which is the most important tool for this project. Little by little, we chipped away and took our time to get the right depth. It wasn't pretty, but in the end, the hinge was nice and flush with the door. After both sections were notched on the door, we reattached the hinges to the frame.
Then we attached them to the door and attempted to close it, but spoiler alert,
it didn't close.
Mm-mm.
After probably an hour of trying to adjust the hinge placements, we had to come up with a plan B.
And this is where you probably shouldn't take our advice. So a professional would use a table saw to cut down the door or a planer to shave some of it off. But we don't have a table saw and I do not trust my planing abilities. So instead, we chiseled away at the door frame.
Luckily, the door was barely hitting, so we only had to take a little bit off. And it worked like a charm.
But it wasn't over yet. Next, we had to install the door handle. I ordered these amazing vintage style handles from Nostalgic Hardware, which I am completely obsessed with. And they came with a template, which made it easy to figure out where to drill the holes.
After pre-drilling at the center point, we used a standard 2 1/8 hole saw to bore the main hole, then a 1-inch paddle bit for the smaller one. Then we had to notch out another groove for the latch. Luckily, we didn't screw up and everything fit just like it was supposed to.
Then came my favorite part, paint! I chose the soft muted pink shade from Farrow & Ball called Setting Plaster. And it's the prettiest door I've ever seen. Now that the hard project was out of the way, it was finally time to make over these nightstands that I found on OfferUp a couple months ago. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with these babies from the beginning. For the paint color, I chose Maison Blanche's lime paint in Printemps, which is a light sage green color. Lime paint has this really unique and powdery texture, different than chalk paint. It only needed 1 to 2 coats and some very light sanding to get the texture I wanted. I was going for more of an aged finish, so I gave it a light distressing so some of the wood showed through. And the key to this finish was in the white lime wax, also from Maison Blanche. The white wax settles into all the grooves and gives it almost a two-tone look. It's perfect for that subtle, naturally aged look. And it protects the finish, so I was done in one step. This is probably my easiest furniture makeover yet. For the hardware, I found these cheap brass cabinet pulls on eBay for 40 cents a piece. But I wanted them to be gold, so I used Maison Blanche's Organza and antique gold. It's a metallic gel that works on all surfaces, including metal. I just dabbed a few coats on, and once they were dry, I attached them to the drawer fronts. And I absolutely love the way they look in this space. The room's feeling so much lighter without all that dark and heavy wood. But we still have a ways to go before it's ready for the big reveal in 2 weeks. In the meantime, we've got more DIY projects on the way, and we can't wait to show you guys.
Come back next week for some more action in the bedroom.